Now the properties of adjoint A. We have the first property as A into adjoint A, that will be equal to adjoint A into A, and this will be the value of determinant of matrix A into IN. IN means this is nothing but the identity matrix of nth order, and what we are doing is we are multiplying by the determinant A of matrix A. So first of all we are going to prove that. So this is matrix A, A11, A12, A13, A21, A22, A23, A31, A32, A33, and this is adjoint. We have already solved this here. This is a matrix we have considered, and this is the adjoint we have got. So what we are doing is multiply this A into adjoint A. So we are doing the same thing. This is A into adjoint A. So before proceeding further, I will just explain one more thing, that is a remark or note, that if elements of a row are multiplied by cofactors of any other row, then its value is 0. Means A11 into, if we multiply it these two matrices, then definitely this is a row column method. So this is A11 will be multiplied with C11, and where C11 is a cofactor of element A11, and similarly these all are cofactors of the particular elements. Obviously we have obtained this by transpose of the particular cofactors of the matrix elements. So this is A11 multiplied by C11 plus A12 multiplied by C12 plus A13 multiplied by C13 will give you, definitely will give you the value of determinant A. We have studied very well in the chapter determinant that if element particular row or column we consider, and if we consider the first row, then the all element with corresponding cofactors, and sum of these will give you the value of determinant. We have seen this. Now what we are doing is according to this rule, we have this into this will give you determinant of A, whereas this into any other row or column cofactor will give you 0. So we have written over 0, and likewise everywhere you will get this into this will give you determinant of A, this into this will give you 0, this into this will give you 0, this and this will obviously you'll get 0 over here. This is A21, so A21, A22, C22, A23, this is C23. So definitely again you will get determinant of A, then again 0, and same wise. So in this matrix, if we are taking common, then entire we if want to take common, then entire that particular term should be available in entire element. So we are taking common from here, so it will become determinant of A, and definitely the remaining portion will look like this. So it will be I3, that is unit matrix or identity matrix. So here we can share this one. Okay, now the property, next property, that is second property of adjoint A. A be a, if A is nothing but a matrix, be a singular matrix of order n, then if we want to this is matrix only, and if we want to find the determinant of this one, then adjoint A, this is nothing but adjoint A only, and if we want to convert this into determinant and find the value of determinant, will give you the value as determinant of A to the power n minus 1, where n is the order of matrix. So we can prove it. We have seen this one, so this is A into adjoint A, and if we want to take the determinant of this, then definitely we can see here, if we multiply these two, A into adjoint A, this into this, we will get this one. So directly I am writing this 0 0 0 determinant of A, 0 0 0 determinant of A. So while taking common, definitely this will become further we can write this as determinant of A, adjoint of A will give you power 3, and this is 1 0 0 0 0 1 0 0 0 1. So here we can see this is alone and this is power 3. Here it is matrix, and if we take a common, that particular term should be there for entire elements, then only we can take a common from this particular thing, scalar quantity. And in the determinant we can take a common from any row or any column. So therefore we are taking common determinant of A. That's why this is from row 1, this is row 2, this is row 3, so it will become determinant of A power 3. So again we have this determinant of A, and the value of this one is 1 only, therefore adjoint A will give you A power 3 whole divided by determinant power 3 divided by determinant A. So adjoint A, determinant of adjoint A will give you this as 2. Here we have considered that matrix or determinant of order 3, so we are getting 2. If this is order n, then definitely we will get this one. Hence it is proof that determinant of adjoint A is equal to determinant of A to the power n minus 1, that is n is order. So we will move to the next topic, that is inverse of a matrix. And in the last class we have studied that invertible matrices, and in particular that I have explained some more things, and we will look at back that invertible matrix, that means we are finding the inverse of a matrix. Then A is a square matrix of order m and B is another matrix of order m, such that order m, one should note it down, the inverse will also, you will get the same order, and obviously this is a particular thing that is for square matrix only. If exists, then such that this is the result, A into B will give you B into A equal to I. Then we say that B is inverse of matrix, inverse matrix of A, or we can also A is inverse matrix of B, or vice versa. A is inverse of B and B is inverse of A, and by multiplying these two we will get unit matrix as I. And obviously this is denoted by A inverse, and this is not equal to 1 divided by this matrix. Why? Because the reciprocal of matrix is not defined over here. That is not acceptable here, so that's why we are finding inverse is different. Just like sine inverse we are finding, that is different thing, and sine theta to the whole power to the -1, that is different. For example, sine inverse x is not equal to sine x to the power -1. These two things are different things. This is inverse and this is reciprocal, so here this is not equal, it is just like that. Now we'll move to the next part, that is inverse of a square matrix. If it exists, then it is unique. So definitely you will get unique as algebra, we have seen that also, and very in function also we have seen that if we find the inverse, then that is unique we get there. So, and if A and B are invertible matrix, then the same order of the same order, then this is also very important property, or this, that is important point of inverse matrix. We need to understand this. CBSE asks our board question paper setter set questions from this topic also. You need to prove this one, and such questions are asked in board exams also. So remember this, this is a very important thing, you should understand this. And this is just like transpose we find earlier, that AB and transpose of whole transpose will give you B transpose into A transpose. It is just like that, so no need to worry about that. So we'll move to the next slide, and that is, I'm writing again, inverse of matrix. This is page 4. And inverse of matrix, we have seen that, and properties of inverse of matrix we will see how we can find out. And we have seen 2 or 3 properties over there in the last slide, and this slide we will see some more properties of inverse matrix. Let us consider the first one. Inverse matrix is equal to adjoint A divided by determinant of A. So this is another method to find the inverse of a matrix. First method we have seen, the elementary transformation method, and elementary operation or transformation method we have seen the earlier. This is the second method where we are finding inverse of a matrix, and we will prove that how it will come. So proof is, let us consider, we have seen the result in previous slide, that A into adjoint A is equal to determinant of A into I n, that is of nth order. And what we are doing is, we have seen this, right? So what we are doing is, we are multiplying, pre-multiply by A inverse. So what we are doing is, if we pre-multiply, then definitely it will become A inverse A adjoint A equal to A inverse, this is determinant of A, and this is In. So A inverse into A will definitely give you 1. We have seen just before that result, A B equal to B, A equal to I, and where A and B are inverse to each other, and here also A and B A inverse and A are inverse to each other. So definitely we will get I over here. So I adjoint A equal to A inverse, and this is a scalar quantity, this is a scalar quantity, so we can write here also and we can write here also. So I am writing here only, and this is In. Obviously this is also In. So In and In, this value of this In is 1, so no need to write. So further, if I am going to shift this on the other side, then it will become A inverse equal to adjoint A divided by determinant of A. This is very important thing you need to understand, and you have to find out these things. And some more properties are there, and you can also note it down. First point, if A inverse if A is non-singular matrix, then only A inverse exists. Means non-singular, A is non-singular matrix means what? The determinant of A should not equal to 0. It should be value other than 0, or but it should not be null matrix or 0. Then only we can find the A inverse. Why? Because definitely you can see here if this goes to 0, then it is not defined. That's why it is very important that determinant of A should be any value other than 0. Second point, that is, if, let us consider, if A is given as A, B, C, D, and determinant of A is equal to 1, then A inverse can be said as D minus B minus C and A. What is it? This is nothing but adjoint only. A inverse will become equal to adjoint. Next topic, we have seen that this is unique one. Inverse is always a unique matrix. You will get A inverse will be always a unique matrix. And if A is invertible, fourth one, if A is invertible, then A transpose is also invertible. Since this is not equal to 0, therefore we can also write A transpose will also not equal to 0. Why? Because in a matrix we can find the transpose, but we in the determinant we are finding we are getting the same value as whatever the transpose is there. But why? Because there is a property number 1 in the determinant that we can change or interchange the row to column and column to row. In that property we are getting the same value as determinant. Therefore we can say if this is not equal to 0, then definitely this is also not going to be 0. Therefore we can say that if A is invertible, then A transpose is also invertible. Okay, the next point, that is point number 5. If A is non-singular matrix, if A is non-singular matrix, then if you are finding A inverse and after that you are finding what? The determinant of A inverse. So I say better you find the determinant of A and take the inverse of that, or you can also write 1 divided by determinant of A. This is it. This is the same thing. Whether you are finding determinant of A, and 1 divided by determinant of A will give you the inverse of determinant. The inverse of determinant. Yeah. And we'll see some more thing. If A inverse or A inverse is adjoint A divided by determinant of A, then we can find out this thing. So how we are going to find? We'll take an example that let us consider the determinant of A is 2 and the adjoint is 1 0 0 0 1 0 0 0 1. This is 3 cross 3 matrix, and we are finding that this is equal to what? This is determinant. This is this is adjoint A divided by, let us say this is 2. So what we are doing is we are finding determinant of that, this one. So we need to prove this one. For that we are considering this as the formula of A inverse is this one. We are considering this as adjoint A, and this is as equal to, for example, it is just an example I am taking. Don't bother whether this is true or not, but I just wanted to show something, that's why I am taking this example. And what we are doing is in a this is matrix, right? This is matrix. So if we want to multiply or we want to divide this, or better I write this one again. One by 2 1 0 0 0 1 0 0 0 1. Then what we are getting is 1 by 2 0 0 0 1 by 2 0 0 0 1 by 2. This is matrix, means I am multiplying this 1 by 2 to the entire element, but whenever I am taking determinant of this 1 by 2 0 0 0 1 by 2 0, this is 0 0 1 by 2, then whenever I am taking common, then definitely from first row I will take common 1 by 2, then second row, and then third row. So it will become 3 times I am taking the 1 0 0 0 1 0 0 0 1. This is what I am getting. right? So my intention is to explain this particular thing only. So what I am getting is, this is nothing but I can further write it as 1 0 0 0 1 0 0 0 1 whole divided by 2 power 3. Then 2 power 3 is what? This is nothing but, if I consider this as a matrix, this is nothing but adjoint, then this is what? This is determinant of A. Value of determinant of A is 2 power 3. This is 3 cross 3, therefore what I am getting is this one only. And we know that just before we have studied that adjoint A, if we are taking determinant of adjoint A, then the value of determinant of A is A power n minus 2. Determinant A power n minus 2, the property we have studied. And using this one, we can write this determinant of this adjoint, determinant of this adjoint A, we will have determinant of A to the power n minus 2, and because of this is 3 order of order 3, so we are getting power 3. So if this is nth order or nth order, then definitely we will get this as order, sorry, it is minus 1, this is minus 1, so this is power 3. This is A inverse and determinant we are talking about, adjoint A, and this is determinant. So n minus 1, and this is n, this is n minus 1, this is n, so I'll write again n minus 1, and this is n. So on solving, we have A inverse, determinant of A inverse will give you 1 divided by, this is the result we have seen and we have proved. Further, the point number 6, I guess, yeah, we have seen in the previous slide that A B whole inverse will give you B inverse and A inverse. You can just go through multiplication matrix multiplication and you will find it out how it will work. It is very easy, you can do that. Seventh one, if you are taking inverse of a inverse, then you will get the same matrix. So this is also one of the property, and we'll solve one question on this. A is given as A B C 1 plus BC by A. Find A inverse. This is the first part, and we will solve the second part also. This is first part of question, that find the A inverse. So first of all, we need to find out the determinant of A. So what we are getting is this into this will give you A will get cancelled, 1 plus BC you will get, and minus BC will give you 1. So determinant of A you are getting over here is 1. Therefore it is invertible because this is non-singular matrix. So we can find the A inverse, and A inverse can be found as adjoint A by determinant of A. So what is adjoint A? Adjoint A, I have shown you that adjoint A can be written as 1 plus BC by A minus B minus C. This is A. This is adjoint A. So therefore A inverse equal to 1 plus BC by A minus B minus C. This is A. So A inverse is this one. This is answer for the first part. Second part says show that A into A inverse equals A square plus BC plus 1 into I minus A. So what we need to do is, I'll take the next paper. I'll consider this one, and this is page 6. Okay, so A into A inverse, we have A into A inverse. I'll consider this one. As you can see also, this is A into A inverse will give you 1 plus BC. A will get cancelled. This will become minus AB. This will become minus AC. This will become A square. And after that, A square BC plus 1 will give you A square plus BC plus 1, 0, 0, A square plus BC plus 1. This is identity matrix. So I can multiply this scalar quantity to here. So we'll get the same matrix as this one, minus A into A. This is matrix A. If I multiply this one, what I will get is A square here, AB here, this is AC, and here I'll get 1 plus BC.